I'm going to have a quick cup of tea and I'm going to take this fabulous arrangement apart, and then I'm going to reuse this centre section here to recreate another design which we would call a line, and then I'm going to reconfigure the videos so that we start with the line first. Really, I'm starting backwards and going from backwards to the beginning, and then you'll be able to find 3 videos that start with me creating a line arrangement, then moves on to an L-shape arrangement, and then uses the same flowers with the addition of more greenery and more flowers to create a design like that. And hopefully it'll give you an understanding of why learning a line arrangement is important, and will give you really good grounding in floral design. So come back in a couple of minutes where I've taken this design apart and I use a smaller block of foam to create a different design. So welcome back. I finished my tea and I've stored all the little flowers into some water so I can use them in another design. I'm going to leave the arrangement in the floral foam just really so that I can copy it, so that we get as near a similar design to the one that I did when I created a line arrangement. Hopefully that makes sense, because that did sound a little bit of gibberish. So today's video is going to be a line arrangement, and a line arrangement for me is one of the first designs that you should learn if you're attending college or if you're studying floral design of any description, and that gives you really good grounding for any floral design. More often than not, when I teach a line, I use a raised container because I think it's easier for beginners, but I'm going to use a flat plastic junior saucer for today with a very small amount of floral foam. And that's probably the first tip with a line arrangement, is that you don't need to have a huge amount of floral foam. The more foam you've got, the more you have to cover, and the more bulky and heavy the bottom of the arrangement is going to be. Now, if I take apart the top section of my previous arrangement, that's the height that I'm going to work with. I'm going to remove that side shoot because I think that that might be too wide for the design that I'm going to create. And I'm also going to take a little bit of the stem end off the bottom to make it a bit thinner. In the previous arrangement I had a much larger piece of foam, but for today my foam is much smaller, and because I don't have a container, I don't need to worry too much about the height of my floral design. I can go as tall or as short as I wanted. If you're using a container, then you're generally going about twice the height of the container itself. And then just like that line arrangement, let's trim off that leaf there at the front to give me a bit of space. I'm going to create some height. And for that I've used bay, and this is the lovely textural Pussy Willow, which linked beautiful with the colour combination of the roses and the ranunculus. So that gives me the height, and this can be anything that creates a line effect. So foliages that are thin and narrow, rather than something that's bunchy and wide. We're trying to create a thin, narrow, vertical arrangement. Nothing too wide and nothing too heavy. Think about a solid, thick line. That's what we're trying to create. Now, with a line arrangement, I prefer to work with my flowers first, and I'm going to use them as they come out of the arrangement. This one had 3 roses, I believe. I had to think about that then. 3 roses, and I've started back in the floral foam 2/3 of the way back. And what I'm going to do is stagger that colour right the way down to the bottom, but using the flowers that were in the arrangement. Now, I probably haven't used a good example of sizes of flowers in that previous design, because I've used the smaller flower here at the focal point. So this is what I did in the previous arrangement. And what's probably happened since I initially made the arrangement is that this flower is opened quicker than this one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace that with a more open rose, because the rose at the bottom, or any flower that's at the bottom, should be the most open flower. So ideally what we need to do is start small and get bigger as we come more down to the focal point. I'm only going to use 3 roses, but that could be 5s or 7s. Don't worry too much whether you're using odd or even numbers, particularly if you're arranging flowers for the first time. Just use what you can get hold of. And then in between each one of these flowers, I'm going to add in the ranunculus that I used in the previous arrangement. And I'm creating what we call a focal line. Let's just work out which is the best position to place that in. So this is called a focal line, and it's basically drawing your eye from the top down towards the bottom. And this is a good grounding, it's a good starting point for all types of floral design. Even if you're doing funeral work, if you laid this on its side, this would be the start of a funeral spray. It's the start of an upright hand tied, and if you turned it upside down, this would be the start of a bridal bouquet as well. So that line, that focal line that runs down through the middle is used so much in traditional arranging. And I'm going to use the bigger ranunculus there at the bottom so that we have that staggered focal line down through the middle. Now, as a line arrangement, you could easily leave it like that and add foliage at the bottom and fill in with some greenery. But because I wanted to show you a bit of a step-by-step manner of how we got from the line arrangement to the end asymmetrical triangle, I'm going to use more flowers from that previous arrangement. So up at the height, I had some spray carnations, and I'm thinking that this might be too full and too heavy for the top of this arrangement. Works okay. What I did was turned it on its side, so instead of being able to see the two flowers from the front, I've added it towards the back, which is going to give me some depth. And because I've got the arrangement by my side, I can just remove the flowers at the height they are and see whether or not I can add them back into the arrangement to continue that line shape down to the bottom. Now, as a line arrangement goes, this is a bit too fussy for me. I would prefer it with bolder flowers, but you will find plenty of examples on the channel where I use simple single flowers to create the same effect. I often encourage you in floral design to put your outline shape in first, but more often than not, when I do a line arrangement like this, it's the flowers I put in first, because I really want to create that simple, elegant line down through the middle. And basically that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to fill in with the greenery. I've still got flowers at the base of this arrangement, but I think if I use all of those in here, it's going to overfill it. I might add a couple lower down just to fill in and make the bottom part, the focal part, more dense. But for now, I'm just going to add in the tall pieces of greenery. This is the lovely Lophomyrtus red dragon. This is one that I've cut from my own garden, and I'm quite excited because I haven't been able to cut it. It's been in the garden for 3 or 4 years, and this is the first year that I've been brave enough to cut some off. It's been very slow growing, and I didn't want to cut it in case I killed it off. But now what I'm going to do is around the base there, I'm going to start introducing some of the smaller pieces of the bay. Now, I haven't recut all of these because they are literally coming out of the foam straight back into the arrangement. But what I don't want to do now is to start coming out on the side to create width. It's a narrow arrangement. It's called a line arrangement for a reason, and that's because it's narrow and thin. And what I've created so far is what we call a focal line, and it creates that movement down through the front, so your eye will travel from the top to the bottom. If you've got large leaves in your garden, like ivy or hosta leaves, you might have begonia leaves this time of the year, then this is a good arrangement to use them in because they create a nice heavy base to emphasize the focal area and really emphasize the outline of your arrangement. But I'm keeping it narrow. I don't want to come too wide, but I need to come wide enough so that my foam is covered at the bottom. And one of the benefits, one of the beauties of the Conifer is that I can cut this into really short pieces. That's going to help cover my foam, create the widths at the bottom of my design. But because I can cut it nice and short, it's not going to make the arrangement too wide there at the bottom. So I've just finished, not completely finished, but I've just brought a little bit of texture out on that side. And I'll also continue over here. Now, a line arrangement was the very first video I did here on the YouTube channel. I can't go back and watch that video now because I was very nervous and I'm not really sure what I was doing. Hopefully I've improved since back in those early days. But a line arrangement for me is a lovely one to do. You can do it with a single orchid stem if you're lucky enough to have them in your local supermarket. Or you can create a line arrangement with just a basic bunch of roses from your supermarket And I'm going to keep just filling in with these little pieces of greenery. Because I've got the conifer at the bottom, I now need to bring some of that texture up to the top as well. Otherwise it looks like a disjointed arrangement. What's at the top should be at the bottom. What's at the bottom should be represented somewhere at the top. And a little bit of that conifer just helps to link the textures from the top to the bottom. Now the bottom of the arrangement is looking a little hollow. That's my description. It almost doesn't have any density or any thickness at the bottom. So what I'm going to do with the carnations is I'm going to place a couple really low alongside the floral foam. This is what we call recession. It's going to help draw your eye downwards, and it's going to give the arrangement a little bit of a three-dimensional effect. Don't be scared about placing flowers down low, because it really does benefit the finished design. Without the recession, without flowers at a lower position, your arrangement tends to almost look transparent and see-through. If it's not a flower, it should be a lower down piece of greenery. But with just the addition of those two flowers tucked in down low, we've now created a three-dimensional arrangement rather than something that was very flat. And talking of flat, the back of my arrangement is definitely quite flat. It looks like it's been pushed up against a wall. So I'm going to use some taller pieces of this beautiful red dragon just to bring a little bit of thickness at the back. This is going to help with balance as well. If I keep adding flowers to the front, the arrangement is going to become front heavy and eventually tip forward. And of course, we've also got to consider filling in that foam there at the back so that the foam is covered all the way around. And it's just a case now of keeping on adding smaller pieces of greenery just to keep filling in, but without adding any width to the arrangement, because we don't want a really bulky arrangement there at the base. My choice of foliage for this arrangement probably isn't the best, because the bay and the conifer is quite wide. On a simple design like this, I would normally use a large ivy leaf or a Fat's Hedera from the garden, begonia. You might have some houseplants at home where you can cut foliage from, but what we're not looking to do is to create a design that's really wide. Now I would really like to add in another rose at the bottom, but that's going to give me 4 roses down the front, and there's going to be viewers who are going to tell me you can't use 4 roses or you can't use 4 focal flowers. But I just think that colour needed to be extended down towards the bottom. It was almost like the cerise pink had stopped halfway down. So to please those of you who would rather me have 5 flowers in the focal line, I'm going to swap that over onto the opposite side, and then I'm going to place a rose shorter on the opposite side, almost replacing where I took that rose from. And then I have a more stronger focal line that works its way from the top down to the bottom. Even the so-called professionals who are supposed to know what they're doing get things wrong. And just as I finish off the bottom of the design with some smaller flowers, I'm going to remind you that if you're not already subscribed to the channel, then please do so. Hit that notification bell to be told every time I upload a new tutorial. I'm just going to add 2 flowers down low, tucked in at the side, just to cover the foam with a different colour and a different flower. I don't normally do this in a line arrangement because I've normally got bigger leaves to cover my foam, but I'm just thinking there's too much greenery on the side and it's looking a bit untidy. So I think that's a more traditional version of a line arrangement than I usually do, but it's really going to help you understand how a line arrangement like this can turn into a triangle or an L shape or an unbalanced triangle. So if you're new to floral design, what you now need to do is watch the 3 videos, starting with design number 1, which is a line arrangement, then go to number 2, which will be the L shape, and video number 3, which will be the asymmetrical triangle. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, then now's your opportunity. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to be told every time I upload a new tutorial. Like, share and comment in the box below. I know it's a lot to do, but it's the only way other people are going to find us. And stay to the end of the video because you'll see close-ups of the individual flowers and photos of the finished design. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye for now.